2016 was an election year. Local government elections took place with much talk about local government reform and roti. But 2016 was also a year when you had to adjust your grocery list as VAT was adjusted. Karen Kozier-Phillip checked the list and assessed its impact in 2016.
Adjustments to value-added tax took effect on February 1, 2016. The change saw the reduction of the rate of VAT from 15 to 12.5%, but also saw the removal of several items from the zero-rated list. The lengthy revised VAT list included everything from rice, flour, milk, cheese, beans and peas to smoked herring, curry powder and baby formula. Minister of Finance Colm Imbert said people would not be affected negatively, as the taxable personal income was moved from $5,000 to $6,000, allowing workers in that range to go home with over $200 more monthly. He also said NIS and senior citizens' pensions have seen an increase from $4,500 to $5,000, giving them more to spend.
So they saw declining oil production, they saw declining natural gas production, they saw reductions in natural gas prices, they saw precipitous collapse in oil prices, they saw a reduction in national revenue, national income of $20 billion, Madam Speaker, and they did absolutely nothing about reforming revenue collection in Trinidad and Tobago and reforming our tax base and dealing with collection of taxation, Madam Speaker.
The opposition vehemently criticized the removal of thousands of items from the VAT-exempt list, arguing that the move would hit the less fortunate the hardest. Member of Parliament for Tabaki, Dr. Suraj Rambachan, forced an extraordinary sitting of the lower house in March to debate a motion to annul the VAT amendment schedule. MP Rambachan said the government had fallen out of touch with the lower class.
These are rich people government. These are rich business government. So if you notice carefully, the Honorable Prime Minister meets with the big business houses, while at the same time doesn't go and talk to the poor people about how they catch in with respect to this VAT. They carry a barat down to Magdalena and celebrate. But they forget about the poor people.
The Minister of Finance defended the implementation of VAT on specific items. He argued that Trinidad and Tobago's revenue from taxation had been poor under the previous regime, even as the energy sector's productivity waned. The opposition motion to annul VAT was not approved. 2016 also saw voters return to the polls to elect new local government representatives. The People's National Movement based their campaign on local government reform. But the conversations became skewed and turned into arguments about children.
We have about 8 campaigning days left in this election. And up to now, the opposition led by Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar has not engaged anything useful. Her entire involvement in this campaign so far is to interfere with people's families. Well, if your family is a mess, we left you with that. What you interfering with our families for? She now has put her teeth into ministers' wives. And of course, ministers' children.
And roti.
This morning I saw some records at the Prime Minister's residence. You know, every year at the Prime Minister's residence, we have a function for Diwali, for Eid, for Emancipation, for Christmas. One Diwali function, they paid $350,000 for roti. She waving a paper that she had the proof that Frankie Khan's wife got a contract and was paid for it. This senior counsel can't see that if you got a contract and you did the work that you ought to be paid, and even if the contract was hard under the PNM and you thought it was a bad contract, for 5 years you were there with Anand Ramlogan, how come you didn't lock up Frankie Khan's wife then? But you're coming out to harass my soul case about a contract that you had 5 years to deal with. And so bad was that PNM contract that she had, Imbert's wife or whoever it is, that you gave her more contract under your government. But you're waiving that. I want you to waive the receipt for the roti, $350,000 in roti for one Diwali function at the Prime Minister's residence. Look at this crowd here tonight. If I give every one of you 2 rotis, I can't spend that kind of money.
The toing and froing on roti became popularly known as Rotigate. And during debate in the Parliament 1 week before the elections, the Member of Parliament for Princestown, Barry Padarat, was temporarily suspended from the lower house after repeated outbursts. After all the brouhaha, the population went to the polls on November 28th, and the PNM retained their lead, but with a narrower margin.
I just stated that, Honourable Member, could you just leave the chamber for a 15 minutes period, please?
The ruling party won a total of 83 seats. The United National Congress captured 54 seats. In terms of control, the government secured 7 corporations, compared with the opposition's 6, and for the first time in 15 years, there was a 4-4 tie in Sangre Grande for both the PNM and the UNC. Reports of a low voter turnout was dismissed by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley as normal for the less popular election process. Even in the face of a 6-7 defeat, the political leader of the United National Congress gave an optimistic victory speech to supporters at the UNC camp. Kamla Persad-Bissessar said gains in over a dozen PNM seats signal that the time has come for change.
And we trust that the Rowley government receives the message. And having received that message from the people, that the Rowley government will take the necessary steps to ease the pain and suffering of the ordinary people, of the small man throughout our country.
But controversy came concerning who would control the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. The PNM claimed victory in the deadlocked corporation based on the fact that the PNM had the popular vote and incumbency. They argued that changes to the Municipal Corporation Act in 2013 made by the People's Partnership removed the traditional tiebreakers for the local government poll. And they announced Terry Rondon would continue as chairman. When it came to the swearing-in of councillors and aldermen, the UNC walked out after objecting to PNM chairman Terry Rondon presiding over the proceedings. 6 UNC and 6 PNM members put forward names for election of a presiding officer, with the PNM re-electing Rondon as chairman of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. The UNC accused the PNM of not being fair to the people of Sangre Grande by hijacking the corporation. UNC Chairman David Lee expressed his disappointment on the re-election of Chairman Martin Terry Rondon. The UNC had hoped that discussion would have been held between the two parties. The UNC has threatened to seek judicial review of the matter. This remains to be seen. I'm Karen Cozier-Phillip, looking back at the impact of VAT on food prices and the local government elections in 2016.
Here's Marie Hull with a look at some of the political stories that had us blowing up our timelines with memes and hashtags.
The office of the head of state made the headlines this year for gold and fine wine. Back in March, President Anthony Carmona expressed disappointment that this country's highest honor had been listed for sale on eBay. The 18-karat gold medal, which was posthumously awarded to trade union leader Adrian Colorienzi, was put up for sale on the international website, along with some other items starting at $25,000. President Carmona said he was distraught at the prospect of someone peddling the symbol of our national honor and pride, and that the ORTT was not a disposable ragdoll. In the end, the Antamokal Group acquired the ORTT. We could drink to that, or rather, where did the president's wine come from? Who could forget the president's speech, which lasted some 77 minutes, as he attempted to address every matter of controversy involving in his office in 2016. President Carmona was stirred into lengthy thought after media personality Rhoda Barrett raised several questions about his use of office, including a suggestion that the president's house ordered over $100 million of sparkling wine over a 2-year period. But the president shut that down. Instead, he said his office reduced the expenditure on alcohol by $600,000, cutting the alcohol bill for the president's house.
By removing champagne alone, the office of the president has cut alcohol expenses by some $600,000 a year. Additionally, the importation of these specialized high-quality wines has also cut significantly the rest of the alcohol budget.
Some might stoop. No, wait, let's leave that for Member of Parliament for San Fernando East.
I live in the hospital, I want a house.
Who could forget the vocals? Yes, those clips from the PNM's Diwali show, which went viral on social media and probably made your eardrums feel some type of way, as Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi, Minister of Legal Affairs Stuart Young, and other PNM ministers attempted to entertain the crowd with Bollywood tunes. But one controversial video to hit the timelines was that of former government Senator Hafiz Ali. The video, reportedly of a sexual explicit nature, emerged online, causing the senator to resign. He was replaced by current Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanand. With Olympics dominating the airways, the Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley didn't exactly get left out when pictures of Usain Bolt frolicking with a Brazilian student went viral online. A fair few Photoshop versions of the picture, which appeared on social media, included one which made it seem like the Prime Minister was getting cozy. But he made sure to address that meme during a post-cabinet briefing in August.
What I've seen, though, is a picture of me hugging up a woman. I want to let you all know, don't waste any time with that. It's not me. Understand? On the way down here, I saw being circulated on the internet my head on somebody's body hugging up some woman. Don't waste any time with that.
I am Marie Hall, looking back at some stories of social media impact in politics for 2016.